Hey guys, it's Maria. So today we're going to be analyzing the new teaser trailer for Hazbin Hotel Season 2. I'll be discussing my thoughts and analysis and theories on what I think is happening and what goes where. So let's get started. So let's start this with the Hazbin Hotel. So we see it from a different angle, and the new hotel is really great. I really love the lighting. It's really bright. And as you can see at the bottom, there are people or sinners in the bottom, though it could be reporters because remember in the San Diego Comic-Con there was a clip that was shown with Baxter and we can see Vaggie trying to keep out reporters, so it could be them. And also, if you notice, there's arrows that are pointing at the entrance, but also specifically at Lucifer's apple, and there's no arrows pointing at Alastor like the old hotel. The old hotel actually had Alastor's radio tower being pointed at, but now it's Lucifer, which might signify that Alastor might feel replaced by Lucifer. And actually, what's funny is that I actually tweeted about it because a friend of mine pointed it out. And I've had this theory for a long time where I think Alastor might feel replaced by Lucifer. And I've had that theory since last year, and you guys know because of my Forgotten comic. And I posted it on Twitter, and Viv herself actually liked the tweet, and I went ballistic. So I could be right that Alastor might feel replaced by Lucifer next season since he's living in the hotel now. But anyways, let's start with the next clip, which is Charlie and Vaggie has a ponytail, and it could take place in the same scene where Vaggie's trying to keep away the reporters because she also had a ponytail during the storyboard. So I do think that has to, is connected. And what they're talking about, I'm guessing maybe Baxter and Pentious, because, Pentious died and Charlie feels really guilty. She even calls Baxter Pentious in the clip. So it might be about Pentious or about the war or maybe something else, maybe the hotel, but that's all I have to say. So the next clip that we got was the Heaven Embassy. I could be saying it wrong, but it could be the wrong thing. But it's being destroyed by a holy light, and my guess it's either between Lucifer, Lute, or the voice of God, or even Sarah, because those are like the only four holy people that I could think of. But mostly it's in between Lucifer and the speaker of God. But I do think it's Lucifer, to be honest, because of another clip I'm gonna be talking about. But it is interesting how the Heaven Embassy is actually rotting away and it's becoming a part of hell, maybe because of the deal that was broken, or basically just symbolism. But that's all I have to say about that. So the next clip is of Velvet, Valentino, and Vox, and they're at a meeting, and they seem kind of skeptical if you watch their expressions. And you could kind of see a little holograph on Velvet's phone. So I guess it's statistics of how their plan is going to work, but they kind of look skeptical about Vox's plan and not really sure. And Vox, he is determined. I mean, when you slap a table, you mean business. But that's about it that I have to say. So this next scene, I think it might be connected, or it might mean something from these three images. So basically we see Lucifer in his full demon form, though it's kind of odd because his flame isn't on the top like in his demon form that we saw in season 1. So it's possible that Vox has him under mind control, because in this scene where Vox is saying resist, there are also red eyes all over the place. So maybe it's a possibility that Lucifer might be under mind control by Vox as well. And there's also Charlie, so this might take place in the same scene, but maybe not. But she does look up, and she does look worried, so maybe she sees her dad being mind controlled, and she doesn't know what to do. But that's about it. So hypnotize Lucifer, so I guess that would be interesting. The next scene is also, I'm pretty sure it's also connected. So we see Angel and Alastor's eye. So Angel is forcibly being like, it's freaking Clockwork Orange. We're not really sure what Vox is showing him. Either a screen of him, I guess, hypnotizing Angel, or it could be torture of some kind. We aren't sure because, I mean, Vox is a drama queen, so he might be using a different screen to hypnotize Angel. But a friend of mine brought up that maybe he's using, like, hallucinogenics and just making Angel, like, live his worst fear, I guess, which is an interesting theory from them. And the next thing that we see is Alastor's eye looking at Vox. And lots of people thought it was Angel. Like, I'm dead serious. On Twitter, lots of people are arguing that it's actually Angel Dust. They're saying, like, who is that? I was like, it's obviously Alastor. Who else has a monocle, red eyeshadow, red eyes, and you know, is a little dark-skinned? Like, yeah, there's Velvet, but she has white eyes. But it's obviously Alastor with the freaking monocle. I don't know, people are freaking blind, but whatever. But anyways, more about this Alastor and Vox scene. I do think this scene is really interesting, and I'm most excited for this scene. So maybe it's a musical number that Vox is doing. Maybe he's describing his plan to Alastor and what he's gonna do to Hel, or even to Alastor. Or he might be about to, like, start to hypnotize Alastor. Honestly, I would freaking die if it turns out Alastor's gonna be hypnotized, because I've been wanting that. If it doesn't happen, that's okay, but still. And also, you kind of see Vox's screen blank. So I got to thinking, maybe that means that Alastor doesn't recognize who this is anymore, because as we know, they were friends at one point, and they had a falling out. So my guess is that Alastor doesn't recognize his friend anymore, and that's why Vox's screen is blank. So I think that would be an interesting detail if that's true. But, you know, it's either Vox having a villain monologue or a musical number. I would be okay with either, but maybe it's a musical number. It could also be like maybe after this scene at the end of the trailer with Vox saying breaking news, it does seem to have the same lighting, so it's possible that this is the same scene, which, you know, and Vox does have a hypno eye, so again, it could be that Vox is trying to hypnotize Alastor. And also, talking about hypnotizing Alastor, we kind of hear Vox's speech, or well, we do, and how he says, if you're with me, then you're either with me or against me. So maybe he's not talking to the Vees or maybe the hotel. I think what would be cooler is if he's saying that to Alastor. Maybe he's asking Alastor to join his team again, and this time he's hypnotizing him because he knows Alastor is weak right now. But I'm gonna get more to that like right now. So we also get clips at the entertainment district with Alastor fighting with Nifty, and maybe the Velvet scene with her shooting arrows is probably the same scene. So it's kind of cool that Nifty and Alastor are teaming up, and Velvet, maybe she's fighting with Vox. I don't know about Angel though, because it does seem in this other clip with Angel and Husk where Husk is wearing a dress and mascara and Angel's kind of wearing a cowboy outfit. So I think these scenes might be taking place in the same episode, and they're basically trying to maybe kidnap Angel and Alastor. I don't know about Nifty though, because we're not really sure who's with who. Maybe Charlie, as I said earlier, maybe the scene with Charlie where she's worried. It does seem she's also at the entertainment district, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be there a lot, but maybe it's taking place there as well. But I do think they are going to start fighting, and Alastor has his wound opened, and I'm guessing Vox probably caused that, because obviously we know that the Vees know about Alastor's injury because they saw it. So Vox knows that's his weak spot, but Alastor, he doesn't want to run away, so he wants to bear it and fight Vox. though it might end with Alastor losing, like maybe losing too much blood that he passes out, and it's possible. As for Angel, maybe it's like a kill two birds in one stone, or like a divide and conquer kind of thing. So maybe Velvet and Vox fight Alastor and Nifty, and maybe whoever else is there in the entertainment business, while Angel and Husk are back at the hotel with somebody else, and Valentino's there. So it's possible that Valentino captured Angel because of this other scene with Vox opening Angel's eyes. So it's possible that that's the same scene, or like it takes place maybe the next episode. So it's possible that Alastor and Angel will be kidnapped. And also more about Alastor's eye. There's been a debate whether the under eyes are eye bags or a gag to keep Alastor's mouth shut. So we're not really sure at the moment, but it's kind of hard to tell. At first I thought it was eye bags, but it could be a gag, but you know, whatever. But yeah, I do think there's going to be a huge fight, and it was said that the animation was way bigger and better, and the fight scenes were going to be insane. So I'm really excited to see Alastor fight again. And also, it's kind of interesting how Alastor's tentacles aren't glowing. So I do think since his microphone is broken, it does affect his powers, which I think is really interesting. So maybe the whole his microphone is a part of his soul theory or idea is still canon. But yeah, I'm excited to see that fight scene. Honestly, I also think that Velvet's arrows, I don't know if they're powers or it's like something from Vox. If it's a power of hers, then that's cool. But that's all I have to say about that. For the next scene, it's with Lute. I think it's like in the Heaven Embassy, maybe the Heavens version of it. We see her break stuff. It's kind of like the same scene that we see, or like that we saw in the other screenshots. So she's most likely having a villain monologue. And also, if you notice, there's something missing from those cases where like next to Adam's guitar axe. We do see later, or like in the next clip, that Lute has another sword, and she also has a bracelet, which I think, or people have theorized that it's Adam's halo. So I'm pretty sure she stole another sword, and we could also see her prosthetic, which is cool. And I think this is a callback to the pilot, which is really nice. But that's all I have to say about this scene. So she's going full villain, and she's going to have a musical number, which I'm excited for. For the next scenes, it's with Cherry and Pentious. So I do think this is another musical number with Cherry, and I'm really excited for that because we didn't really hear her sing except in the last episode, but it was like together, so it didn't really count. But it does seem to have to be like a duet between Pentious and Cherry, and Pentious is back in his demon form, so I do think this is like a flashback to Turf Wars that they have had. So I'm excited to hear that song, and you know, if it's a duet, then great. These two deserve to be happy together. This last scene with Charlie and Nifty back at the news station is kind of funny. And honestly, Charlie's a freaking mood. Because that's basically us after watching the trailer. Because we were so scared, but it's so excited. We're not sure if it's just Nifty. We don't know if anybody else is there. But it might be a repeat of the pilot, because it was said by Viv that they're gonna redo some pilot scenes, or you know, mention the pilot, but it's gonna be a little different, and you know, that's why they're not gonna make a pilot for Hazbin or like a redo of the pilot like they did with Mission Zero recently. But I wonder why she's crying. It's probably a repeat of the Kitty Killjoy thing, which is freaking funny. But yeah, I mean, that's all I have to say. I'm really excited for this season. I'm excited to see the fight scenes. I'm excited to see Alastor and Vox's fight and their chemistry. And recently, Amir. So as you guys know, I went to go meet Amir at San Jose Comic-Con. GalaxyCon. And he said we're gonna poo our pants this season. Well, he didn't say poo, but I don't swear, so But yeah, he was like, yeah, you guys aren't ready. So you know, Amir is a bit of a troll, but I think he meant it. Like he meant this. He also recently did a live stream where somebody asked him how many kisses do Alastor and Vox share, and he said to be determined, with a freaking sassy lip quiver or whatever. He's just a freaking troll. And if Alastor and Vox do kiss, just to let you know, you guys might see me pass out in the middle of the freaking episode. If that does happen, though I kind of doubt it. But I would die if that happened. I would die happily. There's not that much else to say. I'm really excited for next season. And I am so scared for Alastor because I know for a fact that this boy is not going to have a good season. He's not gonna have a good time this season because, as I said earlier in the beginning, that he might feel replaced by Lucifer in the beginning, and maybe Alastor will get kidnapped by Vox, so that's another point. And we're also gonna see Alastor's past and Alastor and Vox's past, and I am so ready for complicated and sad. I'm ready to ride that roller coaster and fly off. But yeah, what do you guys think? Do you guys agree with my theories? Do you guys have different theories? Leave them in the comments down below. Please like and subscribe. It helps my channel out. Especially comment. Comment really helps me out, and I really like reading your guys' ideas. So, yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys!